Myocardium. Well, Mr. Gilmore, what is this area right here? Myocardium. What is the inside lining? Endocardium. So we got epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Okay, Mr. Gilmore, I got this. Now, on this endocardium, I noticed there's a structure that goes from wall to wall, like Chris Brown used to say. All right? The structure that goes from wall to wall, I want y'all to remember trabeculate. Trabeculate. Now, if it's a wall-to-wall structure, it's trabeculate, and then these little holes that you'll find in here are also called trabeculate. All right? Now, Mr. Gilmore, what is the structure that goes from the wall, or this muscle right here, and it inserts on a valve? If that structure goes from this muscle to this valve, your job is to say coordinate, because it's a cord, tendinate. So that's called coordinate, tendinate. But Mr. Gilmore, where does it originate from? This is a papillary muscle. All right, I can remember that, Mr. Gilmore. But after we do that, I need to know some orientation. All right? So if I need to know some orientation, this structure right here, Mr. Gilmore, is going to be my apex. How do you know it's going to be? Because the left ventricle is always the largest chamber of the heart. So my left ventricle is going to be easier for me to identify. Does that make sense? Now, Mr. Gilmore, if this is the left ventricle, what does this one have to be? The right ventricle. That ain't hard, Mr. Gilmore. But watch this right here. Because I know my little anatomy, right, in my head, watch this right here. This area up here is my what? Right atrium. If that's my right atrium, Mr. Gilmore, this is my right ventricle. Well, Mr. Gilmore, on test, the right atrium and the right ventricle are separated by what valve? Tricuspid valve. So my job is to remember the right atrium is separated from the right ventricle by this cute thing called the tricuspid valve. Sounds good. Now, Mr. Gilmore, what is this structure right here? That area is my left atrium. And my left atrium is separated from my left ventricle by this cute valve. Bicuspid or mitral valve. Bicuspid or mitral valve. Now, I need y'all to do something else for me. I need you to focus in, if this is the left ventricle, the blood has to be pumped out of this area throughout the body. So, Mr. Gilmore, what is going to be this valve right here? That is the aortic valve. Your job is to know this so you won't get what? Caught up. You're going to notice one valve, again, one valve is going to separate left atrium from the left ventricle. If that is true, this is going to be the bicuspid or what? Mitral valve. But Mr. Gilmore, if I'm trying to get in through this aorta, then what's his name going to be the gatekeeper? The aortic valve. The aortic valve. Mr. Gilmore, but you're missing one. That's correct, because on this cut, I can't see it. All right, Mr. Gilmore, I think I understand. The other thing I want you to get, if you see me tag this in here, and I say, I got to tell you something specific. I got to ask you what layer of muscle is this, or I got to say what structure is this. If I say what structure is this, your job is to remember this structure is in between two ventricles. If I'm in between two ventricles, it's going to be ventricular septum. Ventricular septum. Mr. Gilmore, I got all that, man. You just like talking. All right. Let me do something here. Mr. Gilmore, what is all this?